Okay, part 5 of how I found out my cousin was living a double life. Lord, fix it. So, like I said, all these police is outside my truck. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? Like, who called the police on us? Like, because the way we was parked, you couldn't pull up into her driveway because it was jacked up. And I remember dude was telling me to pull up, and I'm like, I'm not messing my truck up. Is you crazy, dude? Like, I can't stand hating people when they just want you to try to tear your stuff up because they don't got nothing. No, sorry, negative. So the way I was parked, they couldn't see me, but they see my cousin B. So they're like, oh, put your hands up, because somebody told them they had a gun. So I'm like, oh shit, let me get out this car. Now, you ain't supposed to get out the car, we all know that. But they couldn't see me, so they didn't know who else was in the truck the way my tents was on my truck. So I got out on the driver's side and put my hands in the air. At the end of the day, if you don't know, now you know. You know what I'm saying? I got a bachelor's in criminal justice. So one thing about me, I know law, but I got a master's degree in something else. We ain't gonna talk about that. But at the end of the day, I know my shit. Let's just say that. So I got my hands in the air. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm the one that got the gun, so they can take the guns off my cousin because she's tripping right now. Like, she don't even know how to react. She's crying. She's upset, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no, I'm the one. I'm the one. They're like, okay, well, where's the gun? I said, it's on my hip. It's in my holster. Da, 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 da. They're like, okay, well, we're going to walk you over to the front of the car, this, that, and the other. We're going to check your plate. I said, y'all can do whatever you want. All my shit's legit. I promise you that. So, and it was. So I'm like, okay, well, by the grace, the officer that was there from the beginning, from a couple of days ago, he pulled up too. So he was like, hold on. She was here a couple of days ago when we told her to leave. Told her to take her cousin with her and go because of dude. So what's going on? So we're telling them how we're coming here to get some clothes, this, that, and the other. We don't know what's going on. The other officer was like, well, he said you came to the door with the gun and you was trying to attack him and you pulled the gun out on him. And I said, what? I haven't even went to that door. I haven't even went to that door at all. I said, I've been calling my cousin like, come on, we let you come in here to get some stuff. We got the baby in the car. The other children are at the crib. We just want to help her get her stuff. And then we're going to go back to the house. That was the whole plan. I look on the porch. Cousin's on the porch. She done changed her clothes. Now she got a COVID mask on. She's on the porch with dude talking about, yeah, she pulled the gun on me. She let him call the police and say that I pulled the gun on him and said I was going to kill him and all this other stuff. I said, that is a goddamn lie. That is such a lie. Like, I've been in this car the whole time. I said, matter of fact, we went around the corner to go see my mom, so you can ask my mom that we pulled up and told her that we was waiting for Karen to get her stuff. Wasn't nobody thinking about dude, or did I come to the door and make any threats to him? Like, I know better than that. So the officer's like, I believe you because we had this conversation a couple of days ago. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to tell you to go. And I'm like, well, can you ask her what she wants to do? Because we got the baby in the car. Like, is she coming back? Because we have our children now at this point. This bitch says she wants to stay. Basically, that's saying, F my children, I'm going to stay with this man. That's what she was saying to me. I lost all respect. You hear me? It went down that raggedy ass parking lot hill that was outside of their house. It went right with them when she did that. I look at my cousin B like, are you serious right now? So she really just picked this dude over her children. Yo, I told you something was off. Cousin B's like, yeah, nah, that's just weird. That's the children, though. You don't want to even come back with your children. The baby, you just had a baby. The baby got to be like 3 or 4 months. You don't want to come back with the baby. You want to stay with dude. She was like, but did you see how she came out? I said, you see how she changed her clothes, though, and came out with a mask? Why you got a mask on your face? Like, it was weird. And I said, yo, she's getting high or something. Something ain't right. She got to be getting high. So we go back to the house. We leave. Go back to the house. Her oldest daughter's trying to figure out what's going on. little cousin. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Cousin K, she's staying there with Dude. So she keeps calling. She's calling, trying to talk to Day. They don't want to talk to her. Little cousin don't want to talk to her at all. I'm like, yeah, you ain't got to. She's like, I don't know how my mom really just chose Dude over us. Like that's where my little cousins was hurt, and I was hurt for them. Like that just don't make no sense to me. That's just all weird. Like I was like, something's going on. I'm like, well, cousin, did you ever see little baggies or anything? I started asking little questions just to see if she was getting high or was she trying to get, or did she get high off of something, or trying to figure out what you got to be high. If you just want to lose your children, you leave your children like that. Like you got to be high. Something's off. Something's off. So, the more we keep talking to little cousin, you know what I mean? She's telling me more about how Dude used to wrestle with her. And I'm like, what? He's 30 something years old. Why he wrestling with you? I said, you're 17. That don't even make no sense. Like, he's what? Play fighting with you? I said, oh, so that would explain why one time the cousin K called me and was talking about, oh yeah, like I feel like my daughter's flirting with my man, and I was like, what? And it was just weird. She was like, oh, no, I'm playing, because they wouldn't do that. But no, she was dead serious when she said that. But now I see what she's talking about, because now my little cousin think it was okay for a 30-year-old to be trying to play wrestle with her. And I'm like, nah, baby. No, should no grown ass man be touching on you inappropriately, or even trying to find ways to touch you inappropriately to fill you out? Because now at 17, you got hips, breast, and ass. So that just don't make no sense to me. That just doesn't make no sense. She was like, oh, we were just playing. You know what I mean? She's not understanding. Like, no, there's something behind that. That's just weird. I said, and your mama ain't saying nothing? She's like, no. She used to just be sitting there just watching, and I'm like, she never told him to stop or chill out. She was like, no. So we're explaining to her, should no man ever be doing that to you, especially the age difference at the end of the day. So now, mind you, we got her children. So we're trying to call her. She's not answering. So this went on for maybe like that, the rest of that day. For the next day, we couldn't get in touch with her. We finally got in touch with her, I think the next day at night or something like that. You know what I mean? She finally answered the phone or whatever. And we was like, so what's going on? And she's like, oh, I'm trying to work it out with him right now. I'll be in touch with y'all or whatever. So we like, what the heck is going on? This is really, really weird, and just like a little off for me. Just a little bit too much off. Like, I just can't deal. And I'm like, so what you mean? So you trying to figure out? I said, okay, well, listen, while you try to figure that out, we keeping the children here. And she's like, oh, that's fine. Just, I'll let y'all know what I'm going to be planning to do. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, we're not going, my little cousins is not coming back around that dude. And she's like, oh, we're not talking about that right now, cousin. You know what I mean? I'll talk to you about that later. So I'm like, all right, cool. So now I'm looking at my little cousin, because, she's like 4 years old at this time, but she's not really talking. Like, what I'm thinking, because the situation just happened, so it might be a little traumatic for her. So maybe that's why she's not having any conversation or talking to anybody right now. So, but now I'm really seeing, like, we have her for a few days and she's really not saying nothing. I'm like, why is my little cousin kind of like mute? So I'm feeling like, let's sit down and talk to little cousin, and see what's going on. She's 4 years old, but she should be running 50 North. And it's not like she couldn't talk. She just did not talk. And I was just really suspicious about that. I was like, something ain't right. Like, why ain't little cousin for her age talking? Like, she should be engaging more in conversation. You know what I mean? Like, this is just, something ain't right. I'll be back. Part 6.